Welcome, 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 welcome. Thank you for everybody who's tuning in. Thank you for watching. In this video, we're going to be talking about how to fix the issue of having too many loopholes in your business operations. I see this so many times with organizations, businesses. They have so many loopholes that they don't know what to do with it, right? They're missing money, they're losing money. But outside of that, not only are they losing money, but they really don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. They have no clue what direction to go in because there's so many loopholes. So for all of you who don't know who I am, my name is Tamika Carpenter Carlson. I am also known as Miss Organization. I help high performing CEOs streamline the systems, organization, things of that nature. So I'm super excited to be here. So let's dive in. To fix the issue of the loopholes in your business, the first thing is figuring out where the loopholes are in your business. Sometimes we have no clue where the loopholes really are, right? That includes our revenue, that includes, our team members, that also includes any operations that we're doing. And it's super important to find the loopholes that are in your business because once you find the loopholes, you'll definitely be able to know what to do next. If you don't know what the loopholes are, you're going to lose money. Not only are you going to lose money, you're going to lose time and effort, but you're also going to be in a position in your business where you're always in your business, you're not outside your business, and you're overwhelmed, you're burnt out, and you're consuming so much because you really don't know where to start. And then you're stuck at this plateau that at the end of the day you can't get out of because you have so many loopholes, right? The next thing is to fix them as soon as possible. A lot of times what happens is we'll find things wrong within our business and we leave them as they are, right? We'll say, oh, we'll get to it, or we'll come back to it, not realizing that the longer you put it off, what's going to happen is that it's going to become an issue. It's going to fester. Not only will it fester, it's just going to keep going and going and going. And at the end of the day, that's what's going to happen. It's going to be something that's in your business that people are going to be like, okay, where did I go wrong as a customer, right? And sometimes it's not even your customer's fault. It's the fact that you don't know where you're losing people, but you don't know also where the gaps are, right? So, for example, a lot of times we'll say our business is automated when it's not automated, right? But it looks automated to us. So, somebody comes into your pipeline, they come into your funnel, right, through a sequence of events. So, you thought that your sequence of events were all set, tested, and ready to go. So, somebody came into your pipeline, right, for one of your offers or just wanted to know more about your company, right? And somewhere within the sequence, they got lost in transition, whether it was a missed email, whether it was a missed text, whatever it was you wanted them to do next, guess what happened? It didn't get done. And it didn't get done for the simple facts is this. Because there were a loophole, right? And somebody dropped the ball, whether it was you, your team, or somebody in position to correct those errors, that's where it went wrong, right? And also, document the changes you make and why they're necessary. A lot of times as business owners, we don't document a lot of stuff. So we just keep going and keep doing, not realizing that God forbid someone tried to sue you, or God forbid, it was tax time. They're going to ask for documentation of every process you took somebody through, right? How much sales you made, how much you generated, right? Monthly, yearly, daily in revenue. And if you don't know what your numbers are, like your metrics, if you don't know what your KPIs are, if you don't know, right, and you don't have standard operating procedures, which are policies, laws, guidelines in your business, then the laugh is going to be on you, because what it says to people, it says that you're not set up properly. When you have an SOP in place, a standard operating procedure in place, it helps you, right, to remove yourself from either training team members that come on board, right? But what it also does is it allows for people to feel comfortable knowing what your process is, right? Knowing how your business functions. And a lot of times what happens is we are so used to, as CEOs, we're so used to, as entrepreneurs, we're so used to just moving along with our day, right? Having our processes in our head, that when we go to execute it, we know what we want to do, right? We know how to do it. But guess what? The people around us might not know. And especially if it's somebody who's brand new to you, brand new to your team, right? Or brand new to what it is that you're doing. If it's not set up structurally, right? People are going to be lost. But not only are they going to be lost, they're also going to say to themselves, I don't know if this is the person that I feel and I trust to be in my business, right? Because they don't even know what they're doing in their business. But it's always good to have that process, so you know at the end of the day what process you took people through, but what process you were trying to do. Because now when you have that process, guess what? You can go back through that process and see where the missing gaps are, which are the loopholes, and you can fill them in with what needs to be there all the time. And if you can't do that, then that means you need to either redo your process or implement processes. And there are a lot of business owners and CEOs that feel like, oh, well, I don't need a standard operating procedure. Oh, I don't need operations, right? And so something drastically happens, then it's kind of like, oh yeah, I do, right? Because operations, SOPs, they're like the lifeline of your business. So why not have them in place? Not only have them in place, but why not only be able to say to myself or yourself, right? Let me do this the right way. So this way, I know what's important in my business, right? I know what to fix, what not to fix, right? And guess what? You can also say to yourself, I need to stop losing time. I need to stop losing money. But most of all, I need to stop losing customers. Because when you have these loopholes in your business, it's costing you your time, it's costing you money, and it's costing you customers, right? Because you're bumping your head against the wall trying to figure out why you're not scaling, why you're not growing, why you're not being able to excel to the next level. And it's because of all these loopholes, right? Then the other thing is train your employees on the new changes. A lot of times what happens is we bring people on board, right? And we throw them to the wolves. We bring them on board not realizing that they need to be properly trained. I don't mean a week training. I don't mean 30-day training. Training is ongoing for anybody you have in your team because we're in a world that's always evolving. Technology is evolving. Not only is technology evolving, but guess what? Your programs, your products, your services, your business. When you go from one income bracket level to another, right? Your systems start to change. Your operations start to change. The way you move, the way you do things start to change. And if you're not putting your time into that and investing into that, that's a problem, right? Because when people get trained, right? Anybody who gets trained in a position, they want to feel like they're comfortable in that position, knowing what their daily job is, right? Knowing how they can serve you and be of an asset to you and your company. Not feel like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm just going to do it and see if it sticks, right? And a lot of times that's what happens when a lot of these companies, businesses have a high turnover rate. They have a high turnover rate, but the simple fact is because they're not training their employees properly. They don't have a proper onboarding system. They don't have a proper training system. Because as a CEO, you don't have the time to be the face of your brand and be behind the scenes of your brand to actually train people. And sometimes as a solopreneur or either a person who has a team, because you're used to doing everything, you're so involved in your business that it doesn't allow you to have another set of eyes of, are these people in the right positions? Or are they doing what needs to be done? And if that's the case, guess what? You're going to have a bunch of loopholes because you have people that are hired for one position. And honestly, their skill set says that they should be in another position. And it's okay to put people in different positions as you grow, right? Because that's the point of growing. Because there are some people you might hire and they come in one position and you say, oh, well, they're better suited for this position. That's okay. Or there's somebody who might be on your team that can take on multiple roles and you can eliminate the cost of hiring new people because you have somebody who can do that. And we spend so much money, hiring and getting rid of people that you don't know how much money you really lost? Do you know that honestly statistics really say that per hire you spend about maybe, 30% or higher, right, of your yearly cost per one hire. So say for instance you hire somebody for $5,000, $10,000, that adds up over time, right? That can be what you want to make in a month. That can be what you want to make in your entire year of your business. But because you're hiring and you're firing and you're doing all of that, you're wasting money. So you don't have that money to put into maybe marketing, maybe hiring somebody for sales, whatever it is that you need. So that's the most important part. It's training your employees on the new changes. But if you're not in a place as a CEO to do that, then you need to bring somebody on board who's able to do that, right? And run. Because as CEOs, you don't want to be training people for the rest of your life, right? In your business, right? You want to be able to have leaders in your business that helping you because it's a team effort, right? When you have a business, right? Any company, any corporation, it's a team effort. It's not one person doing all the work. No, it's not. One person might have the idea, absolutely. But as they say, it takes a village or it takes a community or a tribe to be able to prosper. And that's really what it is. You're really prospering, but you're prospering properly and in the right way because you want to make sure that every time you turn around, you're not looking over their shoulders. You're not having to micromanage because as a CEO, a lot of times we want to micromanage. But at the end of the day, you don't have to micromanage if you know that the person on your team is trained properly. And if they're trained properly and you trust that they're doing their job, you'll have less loopholes. That's the honest truth, right? Then monitoring. Monitor your business closely to make sure the loopholes don't reappear. A lot of times what happens is in business as business owners and CEOs, we don't really go over the necessary things we need to really be paying closely attention to, right? And sometimes we focus on like revenue, right? Like how much did we bring in? How much did we bring out? But revenue is not the only thing you should be focusing on, right? You should also be focusing on, retention rate, right? How many employees stayed, how many employees left, right? But also, you should also be looking at, okay, your traffic conversion, right? Okay, how many leads did I generate, right? How much traffic did I bring in, whether it's to my sites, whether it's to my programs, whatever it is, right? Because these are all numbers you're going to want to know. You're going to want to know when you do a launch, right? How successful was this launch? Because if you decide to relaunch again, that's what's going to happen. You're going to have to look at all of the metrics and the data and the analysis from that launch and see how you can improve it. It's the same way in your business, right? Because in your business, you're going to want to say to yourself, all right, cool. What did I do this month that I can do better next month? Or what did I do this week that I can do better next week? You have to constantly be making changes, tweaking, and implementing the necessary things in your business. And the fact that sometimes we don't know what reappears because we don't have, like I said, those standard operating procedures to go back and say, okay, this is what was mapped out. This is what's laid out. Where did we drop the ball? Right? Where? And you don't know where you dropped the ball because honestly, guess what? You're sitting there trying to figure out where do I go next? What do I do? Right? It's kind of like playing chess, right? And chess is so strategic. You got to make your next move your best move, right? You got to make sure your opponent, right, is not winning, right? You got to make sure you're winning. You got to make sure your team is winning. And when you make sure you're winning and your team is winning, guess what happens? You have less loopholes. And when you have less loopholes, then you know you've done something right. Honestly. And I'm here to tell you, being a CEO, being in business for so many years, I've seen it, right? Helping people in the back end of their business, helping people with operations, helping people be able to manage their team. I've seen where they've lost it lost it with having to hire so many people, right? Being that solopreneur again. I've seen a lot of burnout. I've seen a lot of overwhelm. I've seen a lot of, I'm going to throw spaghetti at the wall and see if it sticks, right? And I see it because sometimes people are afraid to fix it. It's okay to fix it because when you fix it, you know that, okay, this is not what I want to do. This is not where I want to be. This is not where I want to go. Because when you scale, when you leverage what you have, right? Your business operations become more of a success. And it becomes more of a success because now you can say to yourself, guess what? I was able to close the loopholes in my business, but I was also able to close the gaps. Yes, you're going to always have gaps and always have loopholes, right? But it's a matter of, are you in a position to where you can say to yourself, guess what? Loopholes no more. Loopholes disappear because I'm always on top of what I need to be on top of. And as a CEO, that means removing yourself from the day-to-day operations. And a lot of times that's the hardest thing for a CEO to do, is remove themselves from the operations because they're so used to being on top of everything and being in their business. But you have to trust sometimes that you can find someone who you trust with your operations. Because how are you going to show up, right, for the people that need you? How are you going to show up for your clients? How are you going to show up for the people who actually at the end of the day really need you if you're so knee deep in the operations of your business? How, right? Because when you're knee deep in the operations of your business, guess what? You're steady looking at everything that's going on, managing the day-to-day in your business. You can't manage the day-to-day in your business and still possibly show up the way you should for your clients. And as a CEO, right, helping people with their operations, I've seen it time and time again where CEOs drop the ball because they're trying to do too much, right? They always say it's like 24 hours in a day. What do you do within your 24 hours? Everybody has the same amount of time in a day, in a year, in a month, right? But it's, what are you doing, right? What money generating activities are you doing in order for you to move the needle in your business? And a lot of times it's not operations, because the operations that should be in place, right? Really what you're doing is you're actually looking at them to see how you can improve them, how you can make them better. Not, okay, I think I have something, I'm not really sure. Okay, I'm trying to do this live, I'm trying to show up here, I'm trying to run a program, I'm trying to do everything, right? And we have to be real with ourselves and say, right, as CEOs, if you're always in your business, managing your business, but you have a team, is it worth paying my team to continuously do nothing? Or do I invest in a team who's going to help me scale? Or do I say, let me hire somebody, outsource this to somebody, let them run it, and I can show up for you? I can run my programs. Not only run my programs, I can do my lives and do everything I need to do and be on point. That's the honest truth. But if you can't say to yourself that that's where you want to be and that's what you want to do, then guess what? Your operations are always going to be faulty. Always. And I'm here to tell you, like, listen, the honest truth about having operations in your business, it's going to save your life. Not only is it going to save your life, it's going to save your business, right? And a lot of times we don't know what we don't know. So having somebody manage the day-to-day operations, right? The team building, the community, the people, right? The metrics, the data, it takes you out of that part, right? Because operations is a big part of any business, any organization. It is, right? And especially if you're in a position where you have an offline, right, portion to your business, right? That could be a B2B, that can be a brick and mortar, right? And then you kind of have an online part as well. So now you're trying to do the operations for both sides, not realizing that It's a lot for one person, right? And if you don't have the proper system and the proper procedure to be able to do that, guess what? You're going to fail every time, right? You're going to have loopholes every time. Why? Right? So, how do you fix these loopholes in your business operations? The first thing is figuring out what the loopholes are in your business. That's important because when you figure that out, guess what? It's like a domino effect. You knock them out one by one, right? It's like a game of chess, right? When you know what your opponent's next move is, you're knocking them out. But you always have to figure out what the loopholes are in your business before you move on. Because when you decide to move on and you don't figure out what your loopholes are, they're going to always be there. And what they're going to do is they're going to fester over time. And they're going to leave a huge gap within your business. And when they leave a huge gap within your business, what's going to happen is you're going to have a gap that you can't control. And we want to get it under control as quick as possible, as soon as possible. So at the end of the day, guess what? You don't feel overwhelmed. You don't feel burnt out. And you don't feel like you're relying on others because of balls that keep dropping, right? The other thing is fix them as soon as possible, right? So as soon as you find the loophole or someone on your team finds a loophole, it's time to fix them. Get in there and do the work. Because when you get in there and you do the work, guess what? Nothing else matters because you're taking it, right? It's like when you get a cut, right? And you're bleeding, right? So you clean it, right? You put a Band-Aid on it, right? But you're fixing the problem right now, right? Having loopholes in your business, that's a right now emergency problem, right? That's going to keep you stuck. Not only is it going to keep you stuck, it's going to keep you bumping your head against the wall trying to figure it out, right? And then document the changes you made and why they are necessary. Document everything you do. If you are doing it more than 3 times in your business, document it. When I say document, I mean create an SOP for it, right? Because what that says is that this process you will continuously use in your business. You will continuously monitor, tweak it, evaluate it in your business. That's the honest truth. Is when you document something, guess what? Documentation is black and white, right? If it ain't documented, it ain't there. That's the honest truth, right? If people can't see it, right? Or if they can't see it physically, or they can't see it, it's not there. So you need to have SOPs to save the lifeline of your business, right? From things that can transpire, things that can happen. That's the honest truth, right? Then train your employees on the new changes. Every time there's a change that happens, when you bring on leaders or have leaders, they should always be training, right? They should always be having some sort of, elevation. They should be having some sort of strengthening, right? Whether it's personal development, right? Whether it's life development, right? Whether it's, any type of skill set training. Whatever it is, they should constantly be training, constantly be getting better at their craft and their skill, because that's how your business is going to elevate. That's how your business is going to scale. It's going to scale when you have people in place that are always being trained. When they're always being trained and you don't have to train them, right? You have team members that are training them, right? Because you have the best of the best, or you have outside people coming in to train them. Then you have a dream team. And it's okay, but you shouldn't be the one in your business training them. You shouldn't. And monitoring your business closely to make sure the loopholes don't reappear. A lot of times what happens is we're afraid, right? When something happens, we brush it off, right? Because sometimes we're afraid to go in to find out what's really happening because we don't want to know what's really happening. But I'm here to tell you at the end of the day, you should know everything that's happening. And when you have that successful team or that successful operation, everything is running right because you know what's happening, right? So say, for instance, you have an employee that you hired and they're on vacation, right? Or either, they're out sick, or either, they have to take some time off or whatever it is. and you have another team member that has to step up, right? Now what happens is, how do they do their role if you don't have these in place, right? If you don't have this stuff in place, your team is going to fail and drop the ball every time because they don't have that reliance, right? They don't have those systems. They don't have that. Okay, I know at the end of the day that, you know, that at the end of the day, like, I don't have that necessary, okay, let me go, let me get it, right? They don't have that. So I would say for anybody who's out here watching, right? You're running a business day to day. It's starting to feel like a grind. It's starting to feel like a hustle. You're not sure what you should do to take it to the next level. You're not sure. Because as an entrepreneur, as a CEO, you know that achieving success in business takes time and dedication. But with the right tools and support, you can greatly increase your chances of reaching your goals. At the Hybrid CEO Accelerator, we offer a comprehensive program that is designed to help you launch or relaunch your business with a new offer that aligns with the purpose and mission without changing the identity of your business, right? That's what most people want. Most people don't want to change the identity of their business. They just want to scale it, right? And a lot of times people are out here trying to get you to change the identity of your business. I'm not here to change the identity of your business. I'm here to show you how to elevate, how to scale what you have right now, right? And we also have a unique hub of resources that will provide you with high-level standard operating procedures that enable you to build, right, a systematic approach to scaling your business and making it 10 times more profitable. And by embracing hybrid entrepreneurship, the idea of owning both an online and offline business, you'll enjoy the benefits of reinvesting profits into growth without affecting your current lifestyle. You don't want to feel like in your life that you're doing a lot and you don't have time for anything, not yourself, your kids, your family, and you don't want to feel like you're burning all ends of the candlestick. You don't want to do that. And a lot of times as entrepreneurs and CEOs, we feel like that. We feel like we're being pulled in so many directions, right? Not here. So if you're serious about creating more freedom, growth, fulfillment, and impact in life while taking your operation to the next level, sign up for our accelerated program today and get on the track to scaling your operations to 100K in 12 weeks or less online. We look forward to helping you succeed and building the business of your dreams. So join us at hybridbusinessceoaccelerator.com today. So below the video, you'll see the link and come and join us, right? It is an application process. We only want people who are super serious. And if you're serious about taking your business to the next level, if you're serious about doing what it is you need to do for your business, and you're serious and you're saying, like, listen, I'm stuck. I've been stuck for so long and I'm ready to reevaluate what it is I have and do better, right? Because we're in a decade of, we had so many traumatic events that have happened, right? Putting you in a position where sometimes you might lose hope, you might lose doubt. But now is a time for you to say, embrace those changes and let us help you to get to that level. It's nothing like having a business, but your operations suck. It's nothing like having a business and you have no operations. Or it's nothing like having a business and your operations are lousy and you have so many loopholes, right? Because when you're in business, you want to scale all the time. Because that's how you're gonna know it works, is when you work it, when your team is working it. So for all of you who are out there, right, please go to hybridbusinessceoaccelerator.com. We would love to have you apply, right? It's no harm in applying. But if you're ready, we're ready to help you, right? We're ready to help you scale to the next level. That's what it's about, scaling. So if you found this very useful, if you found this very informative, please share, like, comment, because now is the time. There's somebody who's out there who's struggling. Struggle no more. Let's close your loopholes in your business. Let's scale your business. Let's elevate your business to the next level. So once again, my name is Tamika Carpenter Carlson. I am your operations business strategist. I am your CEO accelerator. I am Mrs. Organization because that's what I do. I help you to systematize, organize, and monetize your business. And if you're ready, we're ready to help you. So wherever you are tuning in from, have an amazing day, night, evening, afternoon. And I look forward to seeing you on the flip side. So implement, execute, and repeat the process. I'll talk to you guys later.